Book 2, Actors and Searchers. Chapter 16. Evening shadows lengthened as the hot day drew to a close. The shore lay warm and dusty beneath the last rays of daylight. Fortress Marshank's gates were thrown open wide. Torches and sea-coal fires illuminated the courtyard as the corsair crew mingled with the tyrant's horde. An alfresco supper had been laid for the two leaders and their aides. A temporary jollity prevailed in the light of the promised entertainment, though Badring and Clog still regarded each other suspiciously. The tyrant stoat nibbled a leg of roast gull, sipping daintily from a beaker of green-gage cordial as he smiled patronizingly at the corsair captain. Trom Clog sniffed at a pickled mackerel. With a defiant grimace, he dunked it thoroughly in Badring's cordial bowl and wolfed it down in one mouthful. Choking and coughing, he grabbed a half-empty puncheon of kelp beer, tilting it to his mouth and drinking deeply as it splashed widespread down his braids onto the tabletop. With a loud belch and a villainous grin, he slammed the puncheon back on the table. "Ha! That's better. Whew! Look it! Here comes me mate Tibar and his pals!" Badring eyed the approaching troop scathingly. So this is the entertainment we've been waiting for." Clog half drew his cutlass, thrusting his face close to Badring. "Aye, so 'tis, and they're friends of me good matey Tibar, so don't you forget it." Badring turned his head, avoiding Clog's fish-laden breath. He had dropped his corsair accent now that he held the upper paw. "Forget it. How could I? You've done nothing but gabble on about it all day." Clog was offended by the tyrant's manner. He squinted fiercely at him. "That weren't gabbling, matey. 'Twere a warning. Don't mess with those creatures, and get any thoughts of slave taken out of your head, Badring. It's double bad luck to any who tries to harm me magic friends, see?" Brome felt himself freeze beneath the huge frog mask that enveloped his head. The sight of Badring and Marshank caused panic in his mind. Roanoke pushed him gently from behind. "Hurry along now, young froggy. Up to it." Remembering that he was invisible beneath his disguise gave Brome the confidence he needed. Giving a loud croak, he hop-skipped into the center of the courtyard and began setting up the scenery from the cart with the other rose-hip troopers. Felder was concealed beneath a big, comical fox outfit. The tongue wobbled and the eyes rolled every time he moved his head. Beneath the mask, Felder peered wildly around, seeing each familiar hated face. Badring, Garrod, Hisk. But no sign of his father, Bakyon. Bala was in his element. The show, mixed with the ever-present danger of appearing before enemies, made his heart beat fast with excitement. Dressed in the flowing costume of Tibar, the magic rabbit, he cartwheeled boldly up to the leader's table and tweaked Clog's pleated beard. "Cloggo, me old crab caucus, me jolly old wave-dog companion. Top of the evening to you, what?" Drummond laughed uncontrollably, highly amused at his new friend's antics. Bala produced 2 spoons from Clog's beard and began clacking them rhythmically together by bouncing both spoons off the corsair stoat's vast stomach. "When's a stoat not a stoat? When he wears clogs and a velvet coat. When's a stoat an old sea dog? When he's whiskery, friskery, attery, biskery, Captain Trom Clog." "Ho! Ain't he a caution?" Clog thumped Badring heartily upon the back. The tyrant managed to put his beaker down before cordial spilled on his polished breastplate. He glared at Clog before turning to Bala. "So, you're the magic rabbit. Well, let's see some magic." Bala took Badring's beaker and emptied it at a single gulp. Before the tyrant could protest, he refilled the beaker from a nearby flagon and tossed the contents of it into Badring's face. The tyrant gave a gasp of surprise and threw up his paws, only to find that the beaker showered him not with drink, but with dead leaves. Clog fell off his chair laughing.
See, I told ye, that's me old matey Tibber, the magic rabbit. Make more magic, Tibber.
Bala bowed elegantly as he leaped down from the table. Lord Badring, what do you wish, old chap? A play or more magic? Badring refilled his empty beaker, checking to see that it was Gringage cordial and not dead leaves. I'll go along with friend Clog here. Make more magic. Bala extended his paw dramatically. Bring forth the deadly dagger of death. Gouchy and Castern came forward, bearing between them a red silk cushion. On it lay a long dagger, which glittered wickedly in the firelight. Roanoke chanted in the background. From the deepest, darkest dungeons, 'neath the mountains of the moon, comes the dreadful dagger of death to bring a creature to sad doom. Roanoke then came forward, dragging Celandine. The squirrel maid threw a paw to her brow, protesting theatrically. No, 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 no! Not I! Not I! One so young and pretty as me is far too fair to die. Bala took the dagger, producing an apple from an astounded sea rat's ear. He sliced it in quarters with the glittering blade, smiling wickedly as he called to the assembled vermin. See how sharp and murderous is me blade! Who would like to see me kill the maid? Immediately, there was a silence. Celandine looked so tearfully beautiful, no beast made a sound to condemn her, except Badring. Run her through, rabbit, and be done with it! Celandine shrieked and strove to get away as Roanoke held her tightly, helpless before Bala. The hare held the dagger high. Badring, your name is feared throughout the land. My lord, I kill this maid at your command. He struck at Celandine. She screamed. Ah! The blade appeared to bury itself full length in the squirrel maid's body, though it had collapsed secretly back into the dagger's handle. Celandine took the handle in both paws as Bala let it go. She looked as though she were trying to pull it out of her, though she was really pressing it in. Bala turned, his face a mask of horror, paws quivering as he held them to his face. Alas, no more I'll laugh or sing. I've murdered her, the pretty little thing. Celandine staggered about, moaning pitifully. No more I'll see the dawning o'er the trees, nor see the golden sunlight in the sky. The seasons change, the birds, the flowers, the bees. Alack-a-day, poor me, who has to die. Buckler stood close to her, banging on a small drum as he muttered out of the side of his mouth. Come on, miss, don't he make a banquet of it? Hurry up and die! With a final heart-rending sob, Celandine flopped gracefully into Roanoke's paws and died, still clutching the dagger to her. As Roanoke bore the squirrel maid's limp form around, some of the corsairs began muttering. Shame. She were a pretty little beast. Aye, mate. That rabbit might be magic, but he's fair heartless. Captain Clog took a huge draught of kelp beer. Ah, Tibber, matey. What do you want to croak her for? The show's spoiled now. You gone and ruined a good night's entertainment. Bala twirled his magic rabbit cloak. There, my good friends, speaks a stoat with a heart of gold, me old companion Cloggo. Just for you, I'll bring her back to life. Roanoke laid Celandine on the ground. Bala knelt over her, chanting. Here lies a young maid who's been killed. With my own paw I thrust the knife. without a drop of her blood spilled. See, I bring her back to life. Hocus pocus, dumble-dum dreary, whack-a-lup, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, garum, parum, cockaro-rum, may rise up and come alive! He took hold of the dagger and made a great show of pulling it out of Celandine, heaving and grunting until at last it stood free and shining as he waved it in the air. The young squirrel maid sat up, rubbed her eyes, and smiled prettily as she stretched. "Where am I? I must have fallen asleep." There was great cheering and applause for the marvelous trick. Bala swiftly collapsed the dagger back into its handle, stowed it beneath his cloak, and brought forth an identical one. This, however, was no trick dagger. The hare stuck it in the tabletop between Clog and Badring for their inspection. Trommen tested the weapon, slamming it point down hard into the table several times. "Tibar, matey, you're the magicest rabbit I ever clapped eyes on." Badring never bothered testing the knife. He sat back, chin on paw. "Very good, Rabbit. Can you do any more tricks?" Bala pointed at Feldo in his ridiculous outfit. "More tricks, you say? Attend me here. My magic is no trick. Yon fox, I'll make him disappear with a wave of my magic stick." Roanoke whispered in Feldo's ear. "Now's the chance to free your father. Try to remember what you were told. You won't get a second opportunity. Good luck." The badger donned a massive black cloak as Buckler and Trefoil unloaded a box from the cart. Bala clapped Feldo on the shoulder, haranguing him loudly as the stage was set. "Now then, young fella, you cunning fox, how do you like to disappear? Just place yourself inside yon box, and like a flash, you're out of here." Feldo backed off, his head flopping comically as he pleaded. "What? Vanish me, Sir Tibar? No! To what strange place would I then go? Under the sea, or maybe up there, to regions of the nether air? I pray you, sir, please let me be. Magic Tibar, don't vanish me." Bala turned to the crowd. They were laughing at the comical fox's plight. Assisted by the rest of the company, he got a chant going that was soon picked up by every beast. "Where's the best place for the fox? Locked up tight inside the box." The entire company leaped upon Feldo and dragged him yelling to the box. There was utter confusion as they thrust him in, and he sprang out again. In, out, he went, with the delighted hordes of vermin leaping about, chanting louder and louder. "Where's the best place for the fox? Locked up tight inside the box." Bala ran to the fire, shouting madly, "In! In! Get him in, I say!" He extended both paws to the fire. Whoosh! A great, smoky, gouting column of flame lit up the night. Red, green, and brightest blue. There was a yell of alarm as creatures fell back, rubbing at their eyes in the blinding light. Feldo concealed himself beneath Roanoke's huge black cloak. She moved swiftly away to the edge of the firelight and shook the brave squirrel free from the enveloping garment. Feldo rolled deep into the shadows, flattening himself against the wall as he made his way to the slave compound. Buckler beat furiously on a small drum, secretly kicking away at the box so that it moved and shook. Trefoil stood at his side, her lips scarcely moving as she called out in a loud, imploring tone, "Oh, pity, gentle creatures, lack-a-day! Don't leave a poor fox here all locked away!" Clog nudged Badring roughly. "Ho-ho! That's settled the fox's ash. Tibar's got him stowed tight in that there box." Caston and Celandine paraded round, holding up a variety of big old-fashioned locks, complete with keys and many links of tough sea-kelp rope. "Who will lock the fox up tight? Who will bound the box upright?" There was no shortage of volunteers. Sea rats and corsairs mingled with members of the tyrant's horde as they crowded round the box. Some proudly showed their skills in rope knotting, while others secured the locks through the box's metal eyelets. Balor strutted round the scared box, nodding with satisfaction. Lashed stoutly by good seafaring beasts, by honest soldiers locked firm, no creature could possibly get out of there, not even the smallest worm. Badring plucked the long dagger from where it stood quivering on the table. He strode across to the box, his lips curling as he addressed Balor. "Has the fox disappeared from inside the box now?" Balor's long ears twitched. He held up a cautionary paw. "Wait, sire. Let me weave the spell." He circled the box, gesturing and leaping. "Now you vanish, unfortunate one. A wave of my wand, and you are gone. Others may search and seek in vain, but you will never be seen again." By sleight of paw, Balor produced a hazel twig. He tapped the box sharply, once, twice, thrice, calling out, "Ongum bongum wallagum woe! Vanish, disappear, dematerialize, go!" Turning to Badring, he panted in mock exhaustion and bowed. "He is gone, my lord. The box is empty. Shall I show you?" The tyrant smiled evilly, shaking his head. "No, leave the box secured. But if the fox is really gone, I'm sure you won't mind me doing this!" Darting forward, Badring slammed the dagger down with furious energy, straight through the box lid, up to its hilt. There was a horrified gasp from the onlookers, followed by a mad roar from Captain Trommenclog as he charged out, cutlass upraised. "Murderer! I warned ye, Badring! None of these magic beasts was to be armed! You treacherous scum!" Balor acted swiftly. Tripping Clog, he grabbed the cutlass and ran the box through with it, using both paws. Turning, he helped the pirate stoat up and dusted him off. "Nay, nay, Captain. If I say the fox is vanished, then you can be sure he's gone. Hi there, you, Gerard. Do you fancy throwing your spear at the box? Any beast, come on, have a go!" There was silence for a moment. Then Gerard threw his spear. The heavy weapon crushed through the box, protruding from the other side. It was like a signal. Immediately, daggers, spears, arrows, and even swords flew through the air. In seconds, the box resembled a pincushion. When the missiles had stopped, Balor gave the box a mighty kick with his long hind paws. It fell apart, showing every beast that the fox had really vanished. The hare spread his paws wide, grinning. "You see, when Tibar the magic rabbit performs magic, it is real." Amid the hearty applause that followed, Drop's voice squealed out from the direction of the stockade. "The slaves are escaping! Help! Come quick! They're escaping!"